Mr. Trump, welcome back to Meet the Press, sir.
Good morning.
I got to start with what's been happening over the last 48 to 72 hours. Do you accept any responsibility whatsoever for the escalated tension that takes place at your rallies?
Well, I think if anything, a lot of people have praised me for canceling the one rally. We had 25,000 people coming. We got a lot of them not to come through notice. And the rest of them we canceled because we had disruptors out there. That they weren't really protesters, they were disruptors. They were like professionals. They had Bernie Sanders signs all over the place, and they were made by Bernie Sanders people. I mean, these were professionally made signs. And rather than going, which I could have done pretty easily, I would have gone, I would have made a speech, you would have had an awfully big riot, and a lot of people would have been hurt. And I've been given a lot of credit for not going, and everybody dispersed, and nobody was injured or hurt or beyond that.
But, you know, earlier in the week, and look, earlier in the week, there was an incident between a supporter of yours and a protester. And I want to play a piece of sound from a couple weeks ago from you and ask you about it on the other side.
There's a guy totally disruptive, throwing punches. I love the old days. You know what they used to do to guys like that when they were in a place like this? They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks. Like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
Mr. Trump, 17 days later, that actually happened. One of your supporters decided to sucker punch a protester. Do you accept any responsibility for creating this atmosphere?
I don't accept responsibility. I do not condone violence in any shape, and I will tell you, from what I saw, the young man stuck his finger up in the air, and the other man sort of just had it. But I don't condone violence. As far as my previous statement, we had somebody that was punching and vicious and gone crazy, a disruptor. They're not protesters. I'm telling you, they're disruptors. They're professionals. And he went absolutely wild punching. And frankly, when they punch, it's okay. When my people punch back because they have to out of self-defense, everybody says, oh, isn't that terrible? The fact is that we have very peaceful rallies. I've had many, many rallies. I have 25,000, 30,000 people coming to rallies. And out of that, we have very, very little problem. We haven't had a real injury or anything. And then Chicago, I canceled. And I did a great thing by canceling it, because who needs the problems? Who needs people getting hurt? I didn't want that.
But when you
instead of getting...
But, Mr. Trump, when you say, you know, if you see somebody getting ready to throw a tomato, knock the crap out of them, seriously, just knock the hell out of them, I promise you I will pay for their legal fees, how is that not condoning what this older gentleman did to this protester?
Well, let me explain what happened. We were told before, just as I was going up on the stage, I was told by the Secret Service, sir, there's a person or two people in the audience that have tomatoes. They are going to throw them at you, we think. If they do throw them, you have to be prepared. Now, you get hit in the face with a tomato, let me tell you, with somebody with a strong arm, at least, let me tell you, it can be very damaging, not good. So I was told people were in the audience, two people with tomatoes, that they're going to throw them at me. What I did is I say, by the way, if you see anybody with tomatoes right at the beginning, you got to stop them, do whatever you want to do. I have no objection to what I said. I would say it again. People are there doing harm. You have to go and you have to use equal force.
I'm just curious.
It's not fair. It's a one-way street.
I'm just curious. Do you plan on paying for the legal fees of this older gentleman in North Carolina who sucker punched the protester?
Well, I'm not aware. I will say this. I do want to see what that young man was doing, because he was very taunting. He was very loud, very disruptive. And from what I understand, he was sticking a certain finger up in the air. And that is a terrible thing to do in front of somebody that, frankly, wants to see America made great again. And so we'll see. I'm going to take a look at it. But I want to see what that man was doing.
And that condones a sucker punch, though?
No, as I told you before, nothing condones, but I want to see. The man got carried away.
Right.
He was 78 years old. He obviously loves this country, and maybe he doesn't like seeing what's happening to the country. I want to see the full tape.
So you
but
might
I don't
pay for his
condone
legal
violence.
fees.
I don't. Well, I'm going to look at it. I'm going to see, you know, what was behind this, because it was a strange event. But from what I heard, there was a lot of taunting, and a certain finger was placed in the air. Not nice. Again, I don't condone the violence. I don't condone what he did. But you know what?
So it's possible
Not nice
you could,
on the other side either.
It's possible you could help him with legal fees if this man needs it.
I've actually instructed my people to look into it, yes.
Okay.